Welcome back to another episode of Todos Toman Podcast. Was right off the bat, letting you guys know, letting the thirsties know, okay, we are a day late, or maybe 2 days late, but it's still a weekly episode. We're here, usual suspects, Miguel, Johnny Boy, Tank, muchachos, how's it going? Before we kind of move things along, ya es tarde y tengo sed. So, ¿qué están tomando?
Pues yo ya nada, pero bueno.
No, man.
So I went on a field trip to a bunch of different binnies to go find different things.
Damn.
Oh, well that's a different story. So okay. I found this that was recommended to me by one of the guys that worked there. He's like, "Do you want to try something different, something experimental?" And I was like, "That sounds a little sus, but a ver." So it's una botella que se llama Nulu. It is a bourbon whiskey, but it is finished in Amburana barrels. So
wow.
Amburanas, it's like kind of like Brazilian rum.
Okay.
So it's their experimental series, and it's like
So it's like a trial run?
Yeah, it's. I guess they're saying that it's a Benny's exclusive for some shit. So I was like, all right, good. So I'll try it. Like, it's got 58% alcohol.
Goddamn.
Yeah, it's 116 proof. I have not tried. Apenas lo abrí.
Oh, I like that. Miguel. You haven't tried it and you're about to open it?
It smells pretty good, dude. It smells...
pero tú te lo tomas sin hielo, ¿verdad?
Es que no hay hielo, dude, por eso.
Oh.
Remember.
Ya ves que los mexicanos le tenemos miedo al ice, so, you know. But it smells good, dude. It smells like flowery. And
okay.
It smells good. Hopefully it's as good as it smells. So I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Well, I have 2 more beers aquí de Corona Premier. Ya saben, trying to keep the figure, las curvas peligrosas. So trying to keep it low on the carbs. Nothing fancy like Miguel, but aquí los acompaño.
Pues ahora sí los voy a decepcionar, muchachos.
Qué raro.
Some lemonade, dude.
Qué raro. Lemonade, pero es el vaso que ya is already filled up with the water aquí, ¿no? Entre like the borders. In reality, he doesn't have anything, ¿no?
The fake cup.
Sí, you know. O sea, Miguel no te quiso dar su really exclusive Vinny's whiskey, ¿no? Pero.
Oh, dude, I got an exclusive Marlot bottle right there if he wants to try, dude.
He doesn't want to, dude.
We talked about Marlot, pero no. Never had it.
Vinny's exclusive barrel finish Marlot, dude. I got you, dude. Te la llevo para que la pruebes.
It's apparently a Chicago thing, right?
No mames.
Easy. ¿El tanque?
It is a Chicago. Oh, it's a notorious for Chicago thing, but I think it's like all around the state.
Wow.
Okay. Romero, what you got? Because I don't see nothing in the.
Yeah,
let me show off shelf over in the back.
Yeah, no puse nada aquí. Well, here so I have 2 different IPAs.
Ooh.
I have this 60-minute IPA. It's Dogfish Head.
Okay.
And apparently these aquí continually hopped for 60 minutes for an intense yet enticing hop-centric experience.
Damn.
Okay.
Sounds a little pornographic. No worries.
Esa la pongo ahí, no hay pedo.
Okay. Then what else you got?
To each their own. And then I have a Sierra Nevada Atomic Torpedo IPA.
That's fire. Really good.
It's a 9.2.
Yeah.
It's a tall boy, pero I've never had this before.
No?
I really when I started getting into IPAs heavily, my go-to was a Sierra Nevada double IPA. It was, I mean, ya tiene mucho que no tomo una, pero it was really good. And I think also también, like, that's part of like I gained so much weight because I would drink that like if it was Bud Light. And pero yeah, dude, I'm a huge fan of Sierra Nevada, so a ver qué tal sabe esta Torpedo IPA.
Definitely a good one, dude. I think you'll like it. Pero pues dale, muchachos, let's drink it up con la limonada.
Muchachos.
Perdón que no es un agua preparada, dude.
It's okay, dude. You could have lied, dude.
Qué rico, muchachos.
Could have lied and I would have believed you.
Es que I would never lie to you, dude.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Muchachos, anything interesting over the weekend just to catch up a little bit? I know we're doing the episode a little late. I do want to say that I discovered a restaurant that I have not been to, but it's there and I want to go to it. It's a Japanese restaurant, and they give you some sort of flights, Japanese whiskey flights.
Oh,
and
nice.
So I saw it on fucking TikTok. It's right here in Redlands. It's really close by, about 10-15 minute drive. So definitely gonna try it out. So hopefully soon, and then give you guys a background on that. Pero for me, I guess since I asked the question, it was my youngest daughter's birthday yesterday. She turned 6. I also got a complaint from my girl that I did not wish her a happy birthday on the episode.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
But I did tell her that neither did Romero wish Itzel a happy birthday, so it's okay. Right? It
I had
happens.
a whole list of birthdays that were coming up y acababan de pasar. And
Your
I could have
calendar didn't come through.
yeah, I fumbled that one, so my apologies there.
So
Yeah,
happy late birthday.
Even my dad was like, ¿Por qué Romero no me anunció? You know, I was like, no, he's like, nada más se le dice a mi hijo que se vaya a trabajar con él, después lo corre y ya pues se olvida de uno. I was
Fuck
like, damn,
that.
dad.
Hey,
Nice,
de veras,
señor.
pues ahorita señor Guerrero just celebrated his birthday.
Right?
Did you guys do a little cake, or did you
What you guys
partake
do?
in the cake, Miguel?
So I did partake in a slice of cake, just because. So I went to go buy cake, and I wasn't sure if they're gonna like it, porque compré un pastel de cajeta.
Oh, nice.
Fancy.
So it was como like, it was like como flan abajo, and then it was cake arriba, después era cajeta all around it. So I was like, all right, and then I got a regular cake, you know, just in case they didn't like it. So I got 2 cakes, and like, dude, the cajeta one was fire. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna eat this. I don't care about the other one, right?
Mhm.
I mean, literally, we had to cut it in half and be like, all right, somebody's taking half home and somebody else taking the other half because we don't want
Yeah.
it.
There you go. How old does your dad turn today?
I would have to defer to Tank for that.
Okay, thanks, since you're the
Oh, boy.
responsible one. Oh shit, I guess not.
no, I believe he's turning 67, dude.
67.
That was my second guess.
Okay. Well, happy birthday to Señor Guerrero. Happy late birthday to my girl. She wanted me to say I love her so much, and she will love my life. So, she is, but she just felt bad that I. Happy late birthday or belated birthday to Camila, Itzel as well, and whoever else had their birthday in August. Because Ian from Crazy Rub, which I think mentioned it last time.
More birthdays in like 10 days.
Who?
Homer.
Oh, there
Solo.
you go. Okay.
Oh, the other girl brother.
Yeah, that's right.
También está Sandra. También, which their birthday. It's weird, right?
Oh, they share birthdays, right?
Yeah, they share birthdays.
Same day?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously share birthday. My bad. Damn.
Same
day,
year.
no,
They're the same age.
Otro día.
Yeah, same year también.
Same year.
¿Saben a qué horas?
I think Omar's was before. I don't know the times. They know them because they had to go look.
Pero no nacieron a la misma hora, right?
No, they didn't.
But just the fact that
crazy, right?
Just the fact that you married somebody that's the same birthday, that's kind of crazy enough. And actually, I saw a TikTok today about that shit. I guess it was a husband and a wife, and then they had their kid the same day of their birthday, which that's crazy.
Oh wow!
Damn.
So they share birthdays, and then now their kid shares their birthdays.
Their birthday, yeah. So it's 3 birthdays in one.
Dude.
That's just crazy.
Might be easier when it comes on celebrating birthdays, right? Like,
well,
party
for all.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think
get different gifts.
I think 2 of our uncles share the same birthday too.
From your dad,
right.
or
Yeah,
from my dad's side.
So brothers, they do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But they're not twins now. Like they're different years.
No.
Different years.
Very big years apart. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like the same exact day.
The oldest, no, está bien pinche putado porque ya, like, when he wanted to celebrate his birthday, nació el otro chiquillo y they canceled his birthday party.
Dude, do you guys remember? I know I'm not trying to get off our topic up, but did you guys ever experience that where, so say in this case, Romero, he has younger siblings where it was your birthday and it would celebrate it, but then as soon as your sister kind of, I guess, was born, te opacó tu cumpleaños or Christmas. In this case, I meant to say Christmas. So te opacó Christmas. So she would get like all the gifts or a lot of the gifts, and you would just, your gifts weren't as much, I guess you could say.
No, I don't think so. Not necessarily, but it was definitely where we kind of had to play the game of like, well, Santa Claus is not real. Now I'm like, yeah, you're telling me that shit now because now you have to buy an extra gift.
Well, we don't know if he's not real, right?
Damn.
We don't know if he's not real. Well, some of us
Well,
still believe, and we still get gifts.
well,
Some of us
yes,
still
dude,
has
but you know,
magic, right?
in our
Believe in magic.
neighborhood, you know, he would just drop them off at the corner because it was a little dangerous, you know. So
Agarren lo que quieran,
Well,
¿no? Like,
I was like, whoever got him
Oh.
first won, no?
Sí,
he
güey.
basically was Santa Claus ding dong ditch around the neighborhood. You know, just left the presents at the door and ran away.
Tu papá con un chingo de frío llegando por atrás, ¿no, güey? Tú y tu mamá ahí,
Dice,
¿no?
Santa Claus, córrele, pendejos, córrele. No.
Pero esa fue de que, like, at least me acuerdo en México, right? Like you would see like Santa Claus in the chimney and all that shit. Like, it's like, you know, hay pinches chimeneas. Like, what the fuck? Like, oh, pues es que
Yeah.
se mete por la ventana del baño. I was like, what? You know, it's
Pero
like,
I was like, ¿no le quieren poner el seguro or something? Like,
That dangerous, ¿no?
donde se
And
mete
that-
Santa
in the
Claus se
Santa
puede
Claus
meter un
movie?
ladrón, ¿no?
Sí,
In the Santa Claus movie, they address it. If you don't have a fireplace,
they do, yeah.
hay un tubo, and they say that it automatically transforms into a chimney for that period until he goes down, y ya cuando se sale, it goes back to normal, dude. ¿Ves? The Santa Claus movie,
Magic, dude,
they conduct the
magic.
science and everything, dude.
me
Tim
falta
Allen ahí
estudiar,
estaba
dude.
explicando todo, dude. Like, you know.
Dude, you guys got it easy. You guys believe at least just in Santa Claus. I gotta believe in Santa Claus, and I gotta believe in fucking Reyes Magos, y el pinche
me too.
zapato and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah.
I
Same
told you guys
thing.
that we do both.
If
so.
you didn't put a shoe out, you didn't get shit, dude.
Oh well, even if they don't put a shoe out, they get stuff. So
And then,
Oh no.
it is what it is.
so
No
I
shoe,
think
no
we talked
phone, no
about it
gifts.
during the Christmas season, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
Santa Claus, Reyes Magos, and then El Niño Dios, which is
I never
like,
heard of that one. Like I
oh,
never.
I think you
took it
guys had
out.
the same reaction, but I've heard it several times, and I know that. Like,
Can
I
you
mean,
explain it one more
artists-
time, dude, for the listeners that don't want to go all the way back?
Shout
Nah,
out
güey,
to
que
compa Jesse.
just go
Um,
back y,
just-
like,
No, pero like, yeah. So there's like Santa Claus, and then there's the Reyes Magos, right? Like the most common ones, but well, not most common, porque I feel like I've heard it several times. Like, ¿y qué te trajo el Niño Dios?
Pero
I
where
mean,
does
like,
that land?
That's child labor, dude. Like, no.
Dude, where does that land?
Also, dude, like talking about animal cruelty, el ratón, you know, instead of the tooth fairy.
No.
Oh, ratón instead of tooth fairy.
Yeah, you always get, oh, ¿qué te trajo el ratón? First time I heard that, I was like, oh, hell no, dude, what the fuck? I'm trying to
Se
get rid
salió
of
de la
those.
pared otra vez.
Yeah, I was like, I'm
That
trying
is
to get
true,
rid of
dude.
those. What do you mean? You know?
As a kid, yeah, I would see why kids would actually be like, "What? Un ratón? Like, I don't want that shit." But now that they make it with that intent, whereas like, oh, lo voy a decir que, well, like, well, at least in I'm speaking from Mexico, you know, that intent was like, lo voy a decir que es un ratón para que no quiera nada para la, you know, para la otra.
Para
ves que pierde el
pa' que
pinche
no les
diente,
dé
güey.
miedo, ¿no? Para que no les dé miedo el ratón que anda corriendo por la casa, ¿no?
More también, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, okay, well. Anyways, I did ask about the weekend. Anything in this weekend? Tank, Miguel, Romero, anybody want to share anything? I didn't do anything. I know I said I watched that TikTok about that restaurant, but nothing crazy.
So not necessarily the weekend, but so last week we had the company picnic.
Oh, nice.
Oh, like
Yeah,
a
so,
legit
like-
at your workplace company picnic, right? Not.
Yeah,
Not a Todos
so, well,
Toman.
So it was a correct. It was a department picnic, right? Because I guess they split it up by
Oh.
departments. So ahora tocó like my department. And afterwards, like some people came from out of state, and they were like everybody was like, oh, let's do something. So a few of us went to this pizza place, and I was like, all right, well, whatever. It's a pizza place, but it's pretty cool because the inside is all like Hawaiian themed. So like, you know, like it's like a little tiki bar también por dentro. So it's like dim lighting, is like got Hawaiian decoration all up the ass. So it's like desde el suelo hasta arriba, tiene una fuente adentro, like they have
Amigo,
Hawaii music
con
going.
unos coconuts aquí, ¿no?
Y sí, dude, casi ya me faltaba, dude. Like, yeah, they come with the drink menus, and dude, the drink menus were insane. And again, it was all like tropical kind of like
Was it good though?
alcoholic drinks. Huh?
Was it good? Did you try any? Or
It was, dude. It was good. Yeah, like I tried one, and I tried I was like, damn, I couldn't think of one.
He's like,
I was looking
give me
through
a
so
whiskey.
many, right?
Whiskey
So
on the
I
rocks
said
with a little
anything
umbrella,
that has
¿no?
whiskey. I'm like anything that has whiskey, right? They're like, all right, cool. They bring a fucking a drink and they light and they lo prenden. And I was like, oh, okay, ahorita se va a apagar. Pinche chingada nunca se apagaba. And I was like, you know, me pusieron un popote. I was like, pinche popote se va a derretir, you know. So I'm trying to drink it, pero to drink it, like el fuego, like I had it like right in my face. So I had to, like pull el popote, tomarle así de ladito para no quemarme.
Y si le
But it was
soplabas,
good, dude.
como una
It
candle,
was
¿no
good.
se apaga o qué pedo?
The fire
Well, I
skips,
don't
¿no? Al
know,
otro
dude.
lado.
I mean, it was alcohol inside. I was too scared, you know. ¿Qué tal si se prende algo, you know?
You seen the street kids do it, dude.
No mames. Y con
No, but yeah, like
gasolina,
that
¿no?
was a pretty cool place, and especially like for it being in like it was in Illinois, like it's a tiki bar, and like it's got a bunch of tropical drinks. So like it was
Chicago
a
or
pretty cool place.
suburbs?
It was in the suburbs, dude. It was like over there by near Deerfield.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, because so like I work around over there, so por allá fuimos. And I think I want to say that's the only kind of like thing I did when I went out. Because on the weekend I just cleaned around the house, played video games, that kind of a thing. So nothing special
I
on that
missed
weekend.
that. I can't recall last time I really like sat down and played video games.
Oh no,
It's
I do
been
that
a
all
long
the time,
ass
dude.
time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Since I set my ass on the couch, no?
For real, dude. Dude, speaking of it's been a while. Last week, or was it last week? Or I don't know what day. Crazy Rope sent me. I guess Stain was out there. I don't forgot where, but Stain was out there with I think Godsmack.
Yeah,
Oh,
Godsmack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and Crazy Rope went out there, so he was sending me a couple of videos out there. So again, shout out to Crazy Rope. But yeah,
I
you
think it
know,
was in Tinley Park.
I
Yeah, it
thought
was
about
Tinley
Tinley
Park.
Park, but I
Yeah.
didn't know. Was it the same spot donde estaba Peso Pluma?
Sí.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I haven't seen Stain. I've seen Godsmack before, but I haven't seen Stain. Definitely would like to see him. Pero he's like super for Trump, and he sings a lot of country now too. But I heard that obviously he still sings his old school jam. So definitely, I know they're coming over. Tank, anything you did this weekend?
To
No?
that work, bro.
Yeah,
Work.
work, dude.
Well, you've been working.
Well,
Dude?
any
Yeah.
interesting work stories, dude?
Oh,
No,
No.
dude. Nada
You
más
could-
en chinga haciendo los cafés. I could lie, dude.
okay.
I saw, dude.
Saying
This
I
is
could lie,
this
dude.
is your time, dude. You could plug where you're gonna be on the weekend, dude. Para que
Hey.
vayan los
Come check
Thursdays a
out Tank.
tomar, dude.
Sí.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna be
Todos
a
toman,
Tank.
dude.
Dude,
We
I
gotta
don't
be
want
a-
more people going there. I'm tired, boy. Like,
He's not trying to make no more coffee, dude.
easy, way. They're working me,
Like-
dude. Like,
Dude, you gotta hit me up on the weekends, dude, so we can play some Rocket League, dude. When you get home, you sleep, and when you wake up from your little nap,
oh,
on Rocket League, dude, on pinche tournament, we're good at those, dude. You know that
dude.
We're good
Number
at
one
those.
for sure, dude.
for sure, dude. Ma Romero, anything besides going to your parents' house and tripping somebody?
No, we talked about it briefly before we started recording. No, yeah, like it was just been a pretty chill weekend. Pero we did go. Visit my parents. That's usually kind of like default what we do during the weekends. And unfortunately, Carla fell, twisted her ankle, and like that was Sunday. So lo que fue the rest of the week, we're recording on a Wednesday night. Usually this episode will be out Wednesday morning. But like we've kind of, my sister has taken Emma to, like, so Carla wouldn't have to be home with the kids because she could barely walk on Sunday. I took Itel to work yesterday. She put in her first 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
So yeah, from like 8 to 8.
Romero was too proud, boy. Like,
yeah. Like Carla's doing much better, but yeah, it was. I mean, outside of her, falling down, twisting her ankle, and all that crazy nonsense, it was pretty chill. We didn't have much plans, but we were actually looking at like weekends ahead, and we have like pretty packed weekends hasta que we end up over there in California, and
Really?
we just talked about it. That's happening, in what, less than a month, a little bit over a month.
A little bit, yeah. September 30th, to be exact.
Y pues nos vamos para allá a ver a Luis Miguel, dude. And then the whole controversy, right? Of like, which Luis Miguel are we going to get to see? Are we going to get Luis Miguel A, B, or C?
Okay, quick yes or no. Is this a doble? Tank?
no, I don't think so, dude.
Okay. Romero?
Honestly, dude, mientras que cante y suene igual, no hay pedo, dude, porque I really don't know. I can't tell. Like, throughout his whole career, like, you've seen different stages of him, right? and he looks very different in all of them. So
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a double or not.
Okay. Miguel?
Oh boy, hell yeah, it is.
Doble? Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
I say no. I say he's not a double. I seen a couple videos where I honestly, man, obviously he lost weight. He did a couple shit to his face. But a lot of the stuff, like as far as like singing, dude, he sings just the same as he sang
Yeah.
10 years ago.
I have you ever heard of imitators, dude?
I have, but it's really hard to get a voiceover over the way Luis Miguel sings, bro. It's really
I
fucking
mean, it's
hard.
not that hard, dude. I mean, if you pay
No,
enough, like I'm sure there's some really good imitators, dude.
I just like no, I doubt it. They compare voices. They compare
Did you
like
see? Did you
different
guys see
stuff. No,
the
Was it
TikTok? Was it
Mythbusters? If it wasn't, I don't believe him, dude.
was it what?
no? There was a TikTok, either a TikTok or a reel, whatever, where they do the IA over Luis Miguel's face, and it's Don Ramon
Was
Oh
it
yeah.
singing.
Is it IA or AI, dude?
AI.
It's AI.
Okay, I'm fucking
Yeah.
confused, dude. I was like, damn, is this something I don't know?
It was
It's
a
'cause this
test
is the
for
bootleg
your.
version, dude.
To see if I'm a doble.
No,
It was a test into your
little do you
technology
know,
professor.
I was gonna say, little do you
yep.
know that he's already.
Oh, he's
This is
oh,
the
he's
interview
interview.
started, dude.
Fuck.
The interview started
I
already.
see,
Dude.
yes, yes, yes. Well, I passed so far, dude. Flying colors, dude. Flying colors.
Johnny Boy's next move is to become a tech professor. So
Tech professor.
we got to test him here and there, just to make
That's
sure,
fine.
keep him on his toes.
That's right. That's right. All right, muchachos. Well, let's get into our main super topic, as we always have it planned ahead, as always.
Super duper.
And the topic of today is: do you practice what you teach? Right. So
Talking about being a professor, right?
talking about being a professor.
Do you practice what you teach? Is that like kind of like, do you follow your own advice type of shit?
Yeah,
That's exactly.
like, do you follow your own advice? Do you practice? Yeah, that's exactly it. Like I was gonna try and go
No,
off
there's
on it.
nothing
No,
more.
that I did
That's
nothing
it.
else. Dude. Like
Yeah, that's literally. I'll start it off. I'll be honest. I do not practice what I advise or what I teach or whatever. I do say a lot of the time, and I've been very outspoken with it here, where I feel like I worry about so many things that I can't control. But yet again, if I see that you're worrying about something, I'll be like, hey, you can't control it. Like, you can't control it. So why are you even worried about it? And a lot of people are like, damn, you're right. But then when it comes to that advice, applying it to my own life, fuck, no, I can't do it, dude. It's so hard for me, to be honest.
It's easier said than done, yeah.
100%, dude.
¿Cómo se lo dices while you're worrying, no? Like,
Say like right now, I'm already stressed. No?
he's stressed about the interview, dude. He's like, damn, is it going well? Is it not, dude? You know?
Yeah, dude.
let me see.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely do not. I know that in the past, different situations in my life, not just like now, but when I was younger, I do know that a lot of people gave me really good advice, dude. Really good advice. That even then, I feel like whatever they were saying to me made a lot of sense. But were they practicing what they were teaching me or advising me? Fuck no. Like still, it's like I feel like it's just a common thing to be like, okay, well, try this or try that, but you don't even try it. Like, but at the moment, like, you really can't say that.
Right.
But yeah,
which I have a follow up question, but I'll wait until everybody answers the first part if they answer if
do or not.
if they do or not. Yeah.
Okay, Tank, what do you think? How do you feel about that? Or what do you do? Do you feel like you practice what you advise or what you teach?
I try to as much as I can, but definitely, I think it's nearly impossible to actually like fully practice what you teach. You know what I mean?
What do you think that is, though? What do you think you said impossible? Why do you think it's impossible?
Porque like I feel like sometimes like advice you give and stuff like that, it's como te dijera, I don't know, dude. It's like coming from como dices tú, like it's coming from a state where it's not involving you. It's not, like como que lo estás viendo de fuera. But then when it happens to you, like you just react differently just by instinct. So I feel like it's just hard to, como he says, like remain calm and remain when you know it's messing up something.
Sí.
Like what's messing it up compared to cuando te cuentan and you're not living it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Good answer there.
When it's happening to you, you're not being directly affected, so you're able to have a different mindset, a different
Perspective.
perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? Versus when it's happening to you, then you're reactive, right? You react to what's happening to you, and you don't have a chance to, if there's something that's coming that it's coming, you get to be proactive if you wanted to, but in the moment you're just reacting to what's happening. So I think it is a bit harder, right, to follow that advice or remember, like shit, if this was not me, what advice would I give? Like it's harder to do that when you're going through it. That's why it's easier to hear from somebody else, and that's why we say it's easier said than done. um but I think, when I'm thinking about friends or conversations that we have, like it's easier for me to talk from a perspective that's outside of the situation.
Yeah,
But when I think about my kids, is like I do want to be able to, you know, practice what I teach, like to be able to follow the advice that I'm giving them, right? If I'm like, hey, when like you said like gets, overtly stressed, or I see her anxiety coming up, or she can't make a decision, like I'm like shit. Like there's been times where I'm like shit, like I feel the same way. Like what would I normally tell her, right? Like take a step back, like slow down, like let's think about this. Even if it's like a breathing exercises, like I think about what I tell her and I try to do it, but it's not easy, dude. It's definitely something that you try to do, but I don't think you're effective 100% all the time.
dude, and I think you nailed it when you said que, where like if you were to ask me, like I'm seeing it from a third person view, and I don't have, I guess you could say the emotion attachment that you have,
Hmm.
towards that. But yeah, but when you're doing it, I mean, you have, yeah, I mean, I kind of understand what you're telling me. That's why I'm giving you the advice. But as far as it was happening to me, I have so many emotions involved that I guess my head, first of all, it's just not clear at all. Like
Hmm.
100%
Yeah.
is not clear. So you're never really going to be able to be, well, I don't want to say never. I mean, if people do it out there, if anybody really, practice what they teach, I mean, by all means, props to you. But as far as with me, I feel like I've never really been able to do that fully to the 100%. I know I've tried it in the past. I know I've tried certain different things that I would advise to you guys. I've tried by my to my to my own self, but is it hard? Fuck yeah. It's really hard. And then either I give up on it and then I just keep worrying or whatever, just because I just, again, the emotion, the every emotion that it's, I guess, build up with it.
And yeah, when I hear that, right, I the advice that I always give, and I try to remember that when I'm in that situation, is that like if you're able to remove emotion and just think logically, like fact based, or whatever's happening, but removing your emotion and then acting on it, it will give you some clarity because you're not affected by what you're feeling to make those decisions, right?
I agree. Mm-hmm.
But what mismo, like you need somebody there to remind you of that, so you don't kind of fall into that stage of like, shit, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Even though you've given that advice before, you just need somebody to remind you, like to hear from an outsider or a different voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. What you think about it, Miguel?
So when it comes down to the question, right? Do I practice what I advise or what I teach? The answer is I don't. Sometimes I wish I did. It's hard, right? It's extremely hard, and I think a lot of times when we advise somebody, we advise based off of our own experiences, advice that we've gotten, but we may not have listened to. And honestly, it's like one of those like, well, I never tried this, but like, let me pass on the message. Hopefully, you break the cycle because you may listen. Um, but I honestly I don't. Like I wish I did, but I don't. And my follow up question was, I know Johnny Boy, you were saying that sometimes you would get advice, like really good advice from people,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, damn, like he's like you're when you said you're like, well, they don't practice what they tell me, but it's very good advice. When you guys get advice from somebody, well, and it could be the best advice, but you see that they don't practice it. does that take merit away? Or are you like, do you think like, well, it's great advice, but not even you listen, not even you do it? Or is it one of those like, well, that's great advice. I know you don't do it, but maybe I should.
Uh, I think it falls back to kind of what Romero was saying about if you take away the emotion, right? So if I was going through something, and I know if any of you guys were to give me an advice, I know you guys have again no emotion attached to the advice or to whatever
Mm.
to my situation. So
Mhm.
your advice eventually is going to be some sort of logic, right? And kind of like what I'm telling you, like 100%, I would give you the best advice that I could give you. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm going to give you my opinion because it's, at the end of the day, it's an opinion, and I'll give you what I think I would do or what's best. But again, it goes back to the damn attachment of there's no sort of emotion attachment. So I'm able to give you that advice, but that I see, I know you said it doesn't. I just feel like it doesn't take away. Um, what did you say? It doesn't take away the what? You said a word.
It doesn't take away the
Credibility.
importance or the value. Let's just say the
It,
value
it
of it.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
I don't think it takes away the value. I don't. I really don't think so.
It depends on who it's coming from, right? Like if it's one of us, like we've
I,
known
I,
each other,
I
like
did.
I think
Okay,
we,
I was gonna
yeah,
say I did say you guys.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, like if it's one of us, like we know where that advice comes from, right? It comes from a good place. Um,
Hmm.
pero si también like voy a una conference and you have a motivational speaker of like, don't ever give up y la chingada, but there's nothing that kind of backs up his statements, or I don't know, I don't have that personal connection. It's like I'll hear it, I'll take it, but it might not stick with me long term because it's not somebody that I know, you know. So
What you're saying.
that's also like sorry, Tank, 1 second, but it's like I brought up the motivational speakers, and like, do you feel motivated when you hear? Because now it's a thing, right? Like the TikToks, the short reels, the 30-second clips of motivational speakers, like giving you some sort of advice. Do you feel motivated by that?
Tank.
Not really, dude. And and I think it has to do with I have in my mind I have motivational speakers at a certain place,
Mm-hmm.
similar to ¿cómo se llama? Like those gurus, like those business gurus que like I'm gonna teach you the keys to success y todo ese pedo. Like I feel like most of the time it's puro pinche rollo de que like um because like I don't know, like I just don't. It's the like I'll pick and choose maybe like certain things que dicen like oh shit like that makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
pero like I won't take it así word for word like so deeply.
You filter
Um,
through.
right, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when it comes to like motivational speakers, like they feed you what you want to hear, right? And what
right.
makes in a sense what makes sense. But I prefer the guy who fucking on Texas is like, get your fucking ass up and go to the fucking gym. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Type of thing, you know? Like he's just being straight up. Like, why aren't
Con
you
un
taking?
poquito de barrio, ¿no? Para que.
El
Sí, de-
barbón, ¿no? El
El
güero
barbón.
barbón with pelo largo, yeah.
They talk
Yeah.
Spanish too. He
Yeah,
talks
he talks
sí,
Spanish.
Spanish.
sí.
Ay, quiero ir a la playa. Ve a puto gimnasio.
Yeah, like he talks shit. Pero I mean, honestly, those people are for me. They're more 100%. They're just legit to me compared to the people that want to tell you what you want to hear. Like like
Yeah.
this guy, he says, "Oh, vet puto gimnasio," no, or do this or do that. Like, damn, like what the fuck? Maybe I'm not gonna go to the gym, but go for a fucking walk. Take my fucking dog for a walk at least, dude. At least. But get off your fucking couch, get off your ass, go for a walk.
Sin
I
miedo al
mean,
éxito, papi, you know?
papa.
Y sí.
Theo, so for me, like, I have a cousin. Well, my cousin Christopher, he is like one of those people that listens to
Hermano
those
del dentista
hermano del
Jonathan.
dentista. Yeah. So he's
El
one of those
señor
people that
doctor,
listens.
¿no?
The
Señor
señor
doctor.
doctor. Yeah. And what's it called? And he listens to those people, and he starts believing that shit, right? Like he's one of those like he'll play it randomly, like sometimes. He'll play like motivational speakers and people who are like, it's just
Pone las canciones de
ridiculous,
Gloria Trevi al
crazy
revés,
stuff.
¿no? Para.
Le creo, le creo.
And what's it called? And yeah, and he starts to take their mindset, right? And which it could be helpful, like I do think that some people maybe find inspiration in that, but at the same time, those people are there to sell something, right? They're there to sell themselves, to sell their course, to sell their classes, to sell their program, whatever it is that they're selling something. So I think when you think of it from a business aspect, and I know because me and Take have talked about it, especially when it comes to that cousin of ours. And Tank's like, he's like, obviously those people, they're there to sell something, and they're looking for people that will, listen to them, believe in them, and what's called, and afterwards kind of get hooked on their product and on the person, and on the person's, like motivational speak. Now, I've been in a situation where I've seen motivational speakers. Like, back when I was at IC Stars, we went to a few places, and they would have speakers, right? Some of them were motivational speakers, and honestly, it's one of those, like, I don't know who you are. Like, how do I know you're telling me this and you're lying or you're making shit up, right? And then what's it called? I Me tocó, like, I had to give a few speeches, and I had to give a few speeches to not sell but promote, like, IC Stars. And so that was the goal. That was the goal of the speech, right? My goal of speech was to eventually get people interested in it. So because of that experience, I know that there's a lot of motivational speakers that's their goal. Their goal
Well,
is
I think everybody has
this.
as a goal. Yeah, like there's a goal, there's an objective. And as a motivational speaker, you either have a book, an ebook, a subscription service.
Yeah.
Um, but like that's not to discredit them, right? Like they're there, and then some of them have made it so far, and some of them haven't made it as far. They just kind of play the role as if they have. So there's sometimes again good advice, but it's not going to resonate to you as the audience if you're not fully invested into listening to what they have to say, or if you don't have a personal connection, right? Like I think once you have a personal connection with somebody and somebody gives you an advice or gives you advice, you're more likely to listen and grasp onto it than hearing it from somebody that you attended a conference for or something like that, you know?
Right. So, like, order that I've been going on a diet, right? So, like, I've been looking at up a lot of TikTok recipes, a lot of I guess you could say health influencers on TikTok
Hmm.
para ver like qué lo que comen, like, just to get ideas. Like, I don't follow their diets, but just to get ideas. And I stumbled across two or three people, and what I like about them is they seem more genuine. They don't have nothing to sell. Like, they're like, no tienen libros, no tienen videos, don't have a YouTube channel, they have nothing, right? And they'll be as honest as they can, right? For example, one of them will tell you, like, hey, like, listen, I know that sometimes when you step on the scale, you're like, oh shit, like, I gained weight, and y como que pierdes la motivación. So he'll bring up like una botella de agua it's about 5 pounds, y
Hmm.
después, like, those models de grasa,
Sí.
where it's like, it's like,
Oh,
this is also
equivalent
five
to.
pounds. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that, like, you might have lost la grasa, like the fat, but you might have
Pero
gained water, right? So
no ha
you,
sido
like,
hacer del baño.
well, like, I guess
It's
because
just
you
water
drink a
weight.
lot of water, yeah,
Yeah.
right? So it's water weight. He's like, so a lot of the times you can't be discouraged because um the scale sometimes te
That's
miente.
yeah, that's also another great point to like quieras or not, the brain to a certain degree accepts what's beneficial to us, you know?
Hmm.
Um, porque you hear something like that in that example of like grasa versus water weight, and
Right.
you're like, you're in a diet, it's like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing the right thing. Like it
Yeah.
reassures you, porque te conviene, whether it's
Yeah.
true or not, right? I think it's a fact, right? Like water weight is a thing. Um,
Right.
but there's
It-
certain
it-
things where your brain just grabs onto because it's convenient. Like it reassures what you're doing works, what you're doing is right. And I mean, I don't want to derail us into going into religion, but a lot that during our religion episode we talked about that. A lot of people when they read the Bible, whenever they hear a scripture, they adapt it to whatever fits for them,
Right.
right? So you hang on to that. Um, with advice, it could potentially be the same thing. Like whatever resonates with you is what you're gonna grasp onto, and it's just one of those things that is subjective. It all have like when we talk about social media, right? No más falta que your video comes around across the person who's in need for motivation, or in need to get over a breakup, or in need of whatever, and you're saying the right thing at the right time, and
Yeah.
that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of uh reels, short clips, whatever you want to call them now, where people are in front of a mic, just like we have our mics right here. People record themselves for 30 seconds saying a statement. They don't have a podcast. They've never been
Right.
they've never been guests, but they stage it to the point where it's like you hear what they say, and because there's a mic in front of them, that gives them credibility all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then that helps you kind of grasp onto their message or buy into what they're selling, what they're telling you, etc. So it is, to a certain degree, like you guys were saying earlier, like it is somebody's trying to get something across for sure whenever we go down the social media rabbit hole.
Mm, yeah. And
So
I think so. Now, there's some people that have very good intentions when you do this kind of stuff,
yep.
right? Um, but of course, it's como todo. Like sometimes people advise you, like, hey, you need to capitalize. Like I know your goal was to literally try and inspire people, whether that's try a new hobby. Let's say showing how to code, so that way there could be more tech fellows out in move from
Hey.
California to Chicago,
Wait,
or like
I
lose
got
weight.
those the short. Have you ever come across the short YouTube shorts about like
Huh?
coding, and
Yes.
like I
I've
don't know,
seen
like
them on
whoever's
He's an
interested in
Instagram.
those.
advice. He's an advice. He's giving me advice, dude.
I'm giving advice. Dude, like they're pretty helpful. Like they're 30-second clips,
Gotcha,
but
dude.
for sure, like very small, like pieces of code, like letting you know what HTML is, CSS, Python, .NET, C Sharp, all these like coding languages that there's like it's pretty cool that you can kind of retain that within 30 seconds. So like it's not advice, but it's like
Oh, it's
a
not. Oh shit.
tutorial.
I was
But
already think he's giving me
check it
advice
out.
to put in my resume. No, YouTube Shorts. No, YouTube Shorts, TikTok 30-second videos. Muchachos, espérense.
Yeah.
Antes de que we keep going, I actually stepped out because um, last week, last weekend, I said I didn't do anything or interesting, but we went out because I guess there was going to be like a meteor shower. Did you guys hear about that? Miguel,
Oh
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a meteor shower. That's not happen. Yeah,
okay,
I
so
did
there was
hear
a
about
meteor
it.
shower. So we went out there. We watched the movie with the girls, and then the girls went to sleep. And then me and my girl decided to go out on the trampoline and literally just look up. And it was like that. And we saw two within 20 minutes approximately. And then apparently today they were telling me there was going to be another one. They wanted me to join them. Unfortunately, I'm so super dedicated to this podcast, so told them no, dude.
It's all
But
about giving advice to the crowd, right?
yeah,
To
dude.
the
But check out what
masses.
they saw, dude. If you guys could see a bunch of dots,
Oh,
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
so UFOs do no
I mean, they did kind of they did
Well,
say that. So I went
UAPs, right?
UAPs,
UAPs or
right?
UAPs.
UAPs. We don't know, but yeah, that's cool. They were just out there, and I went over there because I was like, "Is that shit out there? Like, I want to see
Yeah.
it."
You could have joined, and just given us a quick.
Oh, you could win. Okay, that's true. Could have joined on my phone. That's true, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. And my second question
Hashtag
too.
technology. Yeah.
Hashtag. Oh my bad. Damn, I'm failing. No? Ya valió,
Yeah.
ya valió madre, no?
You're 1-1, dude. So
That's no. Well, yeah,
50
1-1.
50, dude. 50-50.
Va, va,
That's not
va.
bad. Second question was gonna be Miguel. How was that whiskey?
It's pretty good, dude.
1 out of 10.
So out of 10, 8.5.
It's pretty
Okay.
good. It's pretty
Like
good.
I would say, like
What's the
8.5.
for an 8.5? If you don't mind me asking, what is
Mhm.
the price on that whiskey?
I think it was
65.
like 75, $80. But
Okay.
it's because como it's an exclusive, and
Yeah.
and so the funny part is I went from one Benny's to another Benny's to another Benny's. We were out over there in the suburbs today, and we went trying around, and looking for different bottles and stuff. But
Got your Pokemon, right?
unfortunately, no, because my phone was like super low on battery, so
Damn.
I had to like use it for GPS. But
Damn Android phones.
so back to the like the advice. So believe it or
Espérate.
not,
Romero, what do you think about this here in Nevada?
Oh, the Sierra Nevada was really good. Ya me la
Hell
acabé.
yeah. That's just fire, dude.
Yeah.
It's torpedo.
Atomic Torpedo IPA, 9.2, 19.2 fluid ounces. I mean, if I knew that, IPAs were in liquid bread, I would definitely drink those more often.
Sorry, Miguel.
La limonada was good too. Por si tenían al pendiente, ¿no?
damn, Charlie, but you're failing, dude. Inclusivity,
No,
dude.
that was my next question. It's just
That-
he didn't let me.
Okay.
He didn't let me ask it, dude.
You
Oh,
gotta remember, you're being tested, dude. You got being tested. Dude.
I'm
Diversity, inclusivity, dude. You know.
dude. I'm trying to stay on my toes, but you guys don't give me the chance. So
Oh,
You guys-
I'm sorry, dude.
you guys try to
got you,
answer
dude.
ahead of me, dude. But Miguel, what were we saying regarding advice?
So regarding advice, do you guys think that so obviously we listen to advice from people around us, right? In our
Yeah.
daily lives.
Mhm.
Our family members, work people, friends, whatever. You listen to advice on social media, whether that's a post or a video. Um, do you listen to advice on podcasts? And if so, do you think people actually listen to us and listen to what we say and maybe follow or do some of the advice we give? And if so, does that scare you? Because that shit scares me, dude.
How come?
Because dude, I was like, I don't know if I've given the best advice, dude. So
Como he's trying to say we're dumb as hell, no?
I'm saying myself. That's why I was saying for you guys. What do you guys think about that?
No, what I was
ahead,
gonna say, dude, is that I mean, podcasting over the years for me, like you do things like yo quien soy to give my opinion about X, Y, and Z or whatever, even if it's advice or whatever. But it's like at the end of the day, dude, it's like the reason why I started podcasting, it was because we have these conversations, right? Like it's not like we're faking the funk or making shit up. Like we get a couple drinks, like at least for Todos Toman, like we get a couple drinks, we're together, we have these conversations. It could be during the summer over a bonfire, like years ago, like revisiting old memories, whatever. So we're not saying something that we don't, kind of believe in a way. So I don't feel worried about that. Like I think, our opinions are valid in a way. Um, but there comes a sense of responsibility to a degree, right? Like whenever you have a listener base that's growing or whatnot, like I don't want to say like you influence people, but you give people something to think about, and I think that's okay. People form their own opinions, and we talked about we're talking about this, like when you hear advice from somebody that you don't know, it might or might not stick, right? But if we say something and then a friend of a friend that listens to us has said the same things, it's like, oh well, maybe, now you heard it 3 times, and it's like maybe I should think about things a little differently.
Yeah.
So it opens that that conversation, and like we've gotten messages from people, like I know, like individually or in our like accounts or those someone accounts, like we've gotten messages from people acknowledging and saying, like, when we talked about mental health, when we talked about being parents, when we talked about financial responsibilities, all these things, like people relate to the shit that we're saying because we're not too far off, like not from an expert standpoint, but from just being relatable, I think.
Just a bunch of people being tested, no?
No, dude, I think that's the perfect way to put it. I think if we ever said anything,
Stop kissing ass, dude. Just answer the question, dude.
okay.
It's not like we ever bleep ourselves.
I was like, stop kissing ass, dude. Just answer the question.
No, dude,
no, yeah, you nailed it, Romero. Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was just
He's the best, no?
perfect.
He's the
Perfect,
best.
Best tech
answer,
trainer
bro.
ever, dude. No, but no, it's true because he makes a lot of sense when it comes to like we are pretty transparent with whatever we say, whether it's something really stupid or if we're dealing with something like with mental health or any of that stuff, like we're pretty transparent, but we also include ourselves, right? Like, yeah, we suffer from this and we suffer from anxiety and blah blah blah. But then I feel like in this case, I know Miguel, I think you were the pillar to all of this when it came to like, I'm very proud of you guys, I'm very this and I'm very that. Honestly, Romero even said it's like, Miguel sent me a message some time ago and he thanked me for this and this and that. And I never really got a chance to respond, not because I didn't want to, because I didn't know what to say type of thing. So I think like just that itself, like you open, like you're like, oh, I don't want to go ahead and, say the wrong advice. I don't think I give the best advice, but you yourself just putting yourself out there and being like, I'm proud of you guys. That's far, dude. That's huge. Because if you really think about it, I'm not trying to call anyone out here, but what out of the four or out of the three, besides Miguel, who has said that? Honestly, nobody. And I'm sure, like, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and be like that I'm not proud of you guys. Of course I am. But out of like naturally, organically, Romero, like saying it like you did, that's huge, dude. So that advice itself is like, oh, I want to be more open with my emotions, I want to be doing this. I took it as an advice, whether you told me or not. What you just expressed it, but you yourself expressing that, we're like, damn, I should do that, and I should kind of act maybe not exactly how you did it, but twist it a little bit and still
Yeah, of
say,
course.
I'm
Make it
proud of
your
you,
own.
make it my own. So I think, just to validate what you said earlier, like, I don't think I give the best advice. I really don't think that you notice what, I guess, what certain impact you caused maybe in all three of us. And I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure I could speak for them as well. Where you told us that you were proud of us and all this stuff, like that's a trigger right there for all of us, dude. For sure.
And necessarily not, like we're talking about advice,
Yeah,
but
well, thank you.
we're also talking about like hearing Jonathan say that is like leading by example, dude. Like really taking Jesus mamones. For those not watching on YouTube, please check out YouTube. Minute 52 and 30 something seconds. But yeah, like outside of advice, thinking about it in the context of the ripple effects that causes, right? Like the impact.
Mhm.
So Miguel, you said that you sent that text message. We talked about it. Um, I brought that to a podcast that I was a guest of in the fathers group that I talked about, where it's like we need to normalize, letting our friends, our brothers and sisters, or whoever, like be open about our feelings or emotions. As Latinos or Hispanics, we don't often do that, right?
Right.
So, like, I brought that in and brought that example of like, I got this message from a friend and we need to normalize that shit. Like it has to be okay with us expressing ourselves and just saying thank you. Like even that, we don't often do it. So just like the ripple effects of maybe not, it's not advice, but like leading by example, and what that causes down the line. So I don't
Yes.
know how many people that example reached
Right.
after hearing that and talking about that in this podcast, went on to another podcast and other set of people listened to that. So
Okay.
just acknowledging that one action can lead to
A ripple
impacting other
effect.
people as well.
Props to you, Miguel. Props to you. Where you at?
Thank you, boy.
Got you, dude. What do you think about it, Tank?
Um,
Give me your 2 cents, dude. Only two, eh?
only two. Yeah. Este, I don't know, dude.
You're too tired, boy. Is that what it is?
Gee, boy.
Dude, well, I got another follow up, and you can start, Tank. What is so? It's a two-parter. What is the best advice you got, right? And what is the best? And the second one is, what is the best advice you got that you did not listen to, or you did not follow, and you wish you did?
So I think one of the best advice I got, was by a professor, like when I was going to Governor State, and he said that you should always have um mentors in your life of where you want to be. So he said, for example, the and that you should always have more than one mentor. So it could be so according to him, he was saying someone that is a realistic expectation of where you want to be in, like, let's say a couple of years, and then someone who's like doing what you like, your ultimate goal, like, you know, so kind of like have a mentor um that's leading to the steps of your ultimate goal. But then he said at the same time, always make sure to go back and mentor someone who is just starting, um because there's always going to be people that are looking at where you're at, and that's where they want to be. So he's like, like, kind of like always pay it back, like
Yeah.
have mentors, but at the same time, don't forget to go back and mentor the people that are just beginning, or that are, like, need that advice. And I feel like that's something that I always try to follow since then. Um and obviously, like, I felt like he was one of my mentors until we lost touch. But an advice that I wish I followed, uh I'm gonna have to say, like, I remember hearing that back in the day, like when we were still in high school, like, someone told me, he's like, like, get on your shit, because these 4 years pass so fast that before you know it, like, they're gone. And if you don't uh do what you're supposed to, you're gonna fall behind, from the rest of your peers. Yes, and yeah, that's definitely one advice I wish I would have followed.
That is true. It's true, and that's a maybe a
Mhm.
good one that, like, I think everybody should listen to. What about you, Romerito?
Um, I guess I listened to thank.
Ooh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Who'd you thanking,
Th-
dude? Who'd you thanking?
Thank you, Tank. Give me something to think about. Um, no, for sure. No, like I remember, like, being in high school, and I can't remember why. Like, it could have been because I got caught in a sweep, or whatever reason. We were in the auditorium, and somebody, they had a speaker and said that very few times you get to start over. You get to hit the reset button, to hit the reset button and start over. uh High school was one of those moments, right, that, like, quote unquote, everybody gets to hit the reset button and decide who you are, what you want to do, right? And I think, at that point, it didn't resonate as much. um Miga talked about, IC Stars, which is an organization that we both kind of been aligned with, and they provide a technology internship that we both benefited from and we went through. Um,
Trying to
trying to
benefit
work,
from it.
trying to be a tech trainer.
Trying to benefit from it.
But ultimately, right? Like, I think, for me, that it was that I remember that, like, this is the time to hit the reset button. I don't know when I'm gonna have another chance to do that. And start all over. Um, so that, I think that was one of the pieces of advice. So I can't even remember who the persons that mentioned that or brought that point up of, like, there's only a few
We'll,
times where you get to start over.
we'll just pretend that was Jonathan, and that way he could get points on his
There
We
you
were
interview.
stuck
go.
in the street together, no?
Yes. Imagínate,
um,
güey, like, next to him, like, hey, bro, there's only a few times, not like.
We were.
But yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
acknowledging when those opportunities come around, and being able to degrees to be selfish, and say like, this is my moment, this is for me, and I'm gonna do what I need to do for me, right? Because I think, uh at least I how I see it is like, as you know, Mexican American in our cases, or first generations, or like, we all come with a set of responsibilities that are implied on us,
Hmm.
and we often forget to be selfish. It's not
That's true.
within our nature, it's not within things that are taught to us, so we
Mhm.
forget to be selfish, and being able to identify those moments where you can and should be selfish with the time, with knowledge, with experience, with whatever. It's like, this is your time to shine and own it. I think that's something that kind of has been developed over time for me, and understanding what those moments are. But a piece of advice that I don't think I ever listened to, was or that I've always disregarded, and I don't know if it's to my detriment. But it's like, you can be whatever you want to be. Like,
Okay.
you would hear that over and over, and it's like,
Yeah.
nah, that shit ain't true. Like, you could tell me whatever you want, but like,
Lies.
exactly, that's what I would hear. Like, yeah, I would love to be this, I would love to do this, but it's just not within my reach. Like, so, like, I go from being, um an optimistic person to being realistic, not being negative, but being realistic. Like,
Realistic, yeah.
the
Yeah.
glass is half empty. I'm not gonna lie to myself.
Okay, that's pretty good. I mean, my boy's trying to be a tech fellow, or but you know. Yeah. All right, what about
That's
you, Johnny boy?
that's my goal, dude. I can't really think of something so in depth like you guys. Like I know Tanks talked about a professor, Romero about the things I told him in the sweep, but I can't really think of anything like that. But I did see something today on TikTok that I just found, and it was it makes a lot of sense for me in this case,
Hmm.
in my life. And then the thing goes like this: it says the battles that you refuse to fight, you're making sure that your kids have to fight those battles.
Say that
So,
again. Palabras de tanque.
oh shit.
Ooh,
So the battles that you
That's
refuse
worse
to
to live by, dude.
words to live by. That's true.
let's see.
The battles that you refuse to fight, you're making sure that your kids have to fight those battles. So we go back to things where I'm very outspoken when it comes to and I'll say something new, right? Um, I've talked to you guys about that. My parents really never been that lovey-dovey type of people, or it's like my mom. I always talk more from my mom. uh,
Affectionate. Yeah.
Affectionate, yeah. She's never
Hmm.
been that I love you type of person, or I'm proud of you, any of that stuff. Honestly, dude, I think probably about a month ago or a month and a half ago. Dude, honestly, the last time, besides this time that I'm about to tell you guys, the last time that I could sit here and tell you guys that I told my mom that I love her, I cannot think of it. I can't. Like, there hasn't been a time that I could be
Hmm.
like, oh, it's been this time or her birthday. Like, no. So I went to see her. I didn't see her for a bit, and I went to see her. And then we were there. She made me something to eat, and blah blah blah. I ate, and I stayed with her. We watched TV, and that's like, okay, I gotta go. Blah blah blah. So I left, and then before I left, I was like, hey, I was like, hey, te quiero mucho. I never say it. So even with me, I'm like, God damn, like I broke that barrier that I guess she put with me.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, she kind of. I don't
It's
want to
been
blame
built
her.
over time.
Yeah, I don't want to blame her,
Mm.
but she put it over me, and it built over time. And eventually I was like, hey, te quiero mucho. And she's like, I love you too. And I'm sorry that I've never told you guys, but I love you. And I obviously I know, like I know my mom loves us, but yes, do we need that as kids? 100%, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because me just telling my mom, it lifted like so much weight off my shoulder. Like, and
Hmm.
it's crazy. It's crazy how that happened. And then, like a week passed or something happened, and then I saw her again. And then I don't know, we talked for a little bit. Like, it was just we met up somewhere, we talked, and then I went my way, she went her way, and I was like, Mom, I was like, I love you a lot. She's like, I love you too. So again, my mom has really never said that to me. Again, and not trying to blame her, not trying to say anything bad about her, but what she said in this case in the TikTok video is like the fights. We know we're just brought up a certain way, and just because my mom didn't, unfortunately, she didn't know what love was on her end. She lost her parents very young. She was 14, 15 when she lost her mom and dad. So they never really got a chance to even show love, as far as she remembers. And so she raised me the best she could, right? But what she raised me, I kind of still have that little, um, I guess I have something of, how can I say it? I'm just like her in a sense, because
Mhm.
again, I don't say that much to my kids. I love my kids 100%, but I don't say it the way I should be. So I need to
Yeah.
break that barrier. We need to break that barriers. We have certain barriers that I feel like we grow with, that I feel like, in order for us to fully let our kids, especially with, I speak for myself, I want my kids to be better than me. So whenever they have kids, they show
It's
fucking,
the norm.
yeah,
Yeah.
they show the love,
Hmm.
So this is one of those advices that, I guess one of the really good advices that I received, and that was today. And as far as advice that I never really took, or never really paid attention, um, is something simple as, just kind of like what I had mentioned to you guys earlier, where it was like, don't worry about stuff that you can't control. And it's something that I'm still battling with today, but I think that's, as corny as it sounds, and it's simple, and maybe we all heard it before. That's something that I wish I could honestly perfect, where I could just, if I can't control certain things, and a lot of times I also feel like I worry about things, other people's things, and again, I
Mhm.
can't control that shit, and it just stresses
Yeah.
me out and I get anxiety or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, but you were gonna say something, Romero? I think I cut you off.
No, no, no. Like I was listening to you say that, right? And um, like I think I shared it before in a previous episode. Like, I grew up with my grandparents, and they were very, expressive, and they were very, loving towards me. I grew up with them and everything, and um, it was very few times, right, that I was able to just, say those words to them, like, oh, I love you, or I care about you, or whatever that is.
Hmm.
And the last time I saw my grandma, like, I felt like we knew that was our last time that we're gonna see each other, and I was able to say that, and it
Yeah,
wasn't like a weight, you know, off my shoulders, but it was like, why do we wait so long to do that? Why is that
yeah,
not the norm?
yeah, yeah,
And I've talked about with my kids, like Ivan is 2 years old, and like, we're always like, we wake up in the morning and they go to a room or whatever, and it's like, oh, good morning, I love you, this, that, and the other. Like, he'll respond like, oh, I love you too, in his like own little way.
yeah,
um and I'm like, for them that's the norm, where for us that wasn't, you know so kind of breaking those
barriers.
yeah, barriers, generational, I don't know if it's traditions, or I don't
It might be.
have the right words, but yeah, like making that the norm. Like, I think that's pretty cool to see, even if it's, at this point in the game, like being able to acknowledge that and say those things when is not the last time, like that you're
Hmm.
gonna see a loved one, and acknowledge that. And um I mean, that's I think, just for us, for here, just having this conversation, I think it's something that we normally wouldn't have had, years ago.
Definitely not, dude. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, muchachos.
It's tough though, right? It's tough, especially because you never know when let's talk. Like, like for me and Tank, we recently lost our uncle, and we knew it was gonna happen, right? We knew he was at that stage. We knew that it could happen any moment. Doesn't really take away the sting a little bit, but at the same time, it helps. Um, but como dices tú, like, we got a chance to talk to him a few times over the phone. Um, but maybe we didn't talk to him as much as he would have wanted, or as much as deep down we would have wanted to. But
Right.
it's just, busy with life, like,
Things happen.
and yeah, things happen. But like real quick, right before you move on to the next segment, um I just want to give my little 2 cents about it. So first of all, like I want to say, Johnny Boy, like I know that took, I know that was probably weird and like strange for you, but like that's good, dude. Like it's good that you're taking those first steps and what's it called, and you're definitely trying to do better for your kids and for yourself as well. And at the same time, like it's something that maybe your mom wanted to hear too, and she just didn't know how to break that. So
That's
like
true.
that's good, bro. Like
I didn't even think
real,
about
real good.
that sense, but yeah, that's true.
Um, and so the advice I got that I never really listened to is similar to what you said, Johnny Boy. Um, my grandfather used to have this thing, right? Like there could be a huge problem going on, and my grandpa would be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to sleep, and everybody's like, oh, like they're all worried. They're like, aren't you worried? And he's like, for what? What am I gonna get out of being worried? He's like, look, si el problema tiene remedio, ¿para qué te preocupas? Y si no tiene remedio, ¿para qué te preocupas? He's like, being worried is not gonna do anything. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll wake up, be well rested, then I could think of a solution, you know? And I was like, damn, like he was very chill like that. Like he was very calm and chill like that. So that's something I kind of envy because I am a super nervous and super anxious person that the smallest thing, dude, ya no duermo, dude. Like I'll be thinking about something the whole fucking day.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, it's like that, right? Um, and like the best advice I've heard, right? And like something I try and practice. My my current manager, he's very big on empathy. He's very big on like always show empathy to others. Empathy will take you far. And he always asks me 4 questions, and he told me he's like, like ask you these 4 questions to your child, right, every day or as much as you can. He's like, because your child will feel heard, right, and she'll feel valued. And like the 4 questions is, the first one is, do you feel loved, right? He told me, he's like, it's fine if there's going to be moments where the person's not going to feel loved, whether that's because lo regañaste, maybe they're in a situation where it's like somebody's not treating them right, or like they could be a bunch of different things, and it's okay, right? The second one is, do you feel safe? And he's like, I think this is one of the most important ones. He's like, because if you don't feel safe, from there you have further questions like, oh, like, is there something I can do? You don't want to go out and be like, oh, why, what's going on, right? He's like, you want to be empathetic while you ask these questions. I was like, okay. The third one is, do you love yourself? And he's like, and this one's hard because it's easy for us to say, yes, of course I love myself, but there's gonna be situations where you don't. There's gonna be
Yep.
Mhm.
situations where you're like, you know what, I feel like shit, like I even feel today, and from there it's like, I don't because of this. And he's like, and my job, or the person that's asking questions, is their job is not to make you be like, oh, you should love yourself because of this. Is their job is to be like, like, I understand, like, you just know that, like, this problem will go on, just, like, talk you through. And he's like, and the fourth one is, see, do you love yourself? Do you feel love?
Be
um
safe.
do you feel safe? What's the hell is the fourth? I haven't written down it, but they're in the other room, dude.
¿Cuántos
Thanks,
Um,
room.
muchachos, señor? Oh,
nah, it's dude, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that fourth question, dude. But so like every single, like, and funny because tomorrow, Friday is my 101, and I know he's gonna ask me these 4 questions because me los pregunta every single time. But
Really?
like I just haven't had a chance to meet with him like every 2 weeks. But like, and it was weird, right? At principio, it was super weird because it's like, hey, it's a grown ass man telling you like, hey, Johnny boy, do you feel loved? You're like,
Yeah.
the hell, like,
Yeah, it's a little awkward.
yeah, I guess.
You're
at a
not used
work
to.
setting, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you're
No,
not used
no,
to those questions, especially at work setting. Yeah.
yeah, and he'll tell you like, do you feel loved at home? Well, yeah, like, okay. Do you feel loved, at work? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, loved, respected, heard. Do you the people like value your voice, value your opinions?
I
Like,
might need to take that script and ask it to my managers, dude. Because
see?
Hey, you never know. You never know. Could be a manager one day, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like it's a very powerful
Dude, send me those
way to start a
questions. Yeah,
conversation. I
send me
got you.
those
I'll
questions
send you
for
those
next.
questions.
Well, once you figure out the fourth one,
Well, once I
send
go
them out
look
to
at
me.
my room, right? Like I'll send
we'll
you the fourth
definitely
one.
post them on. We'll make an Instagram post or
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll do.
for sure.
But yeah, dude. Like I
That's a
think
good one.
those are very good.
Very
Like
good
those
questions.
are very good to ask yourself even, and ask other people like your kids,
Yeah,
people that your family, even your friends, dude.
I agree. I agree.
No.
Muchachos, I asked my cousin ChatGPT some
Uh,
best advice too. She's gonna read a
oh,
couple of them.
va,
One,
dale, porque I have a list too, pero go for it.
yo primero.
Dale.
Prioritize self care. That's a good advice, dude. Hella good
Yeah.
advice. I think we all lack on that, right? You guys agree? You all like that?
100%.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Set goals. I try. Do you guys try that? Yes or
Have you
no?
guys ever done a vision board?
No, but I
No.
think I should, and I should try it. You tried it before?
Never done it. I've
No.
always thought about it.
I about that, but check recruiter, no?
Damn.
No,
My
not
number
tech
one
recruiter.
arriba.
It's the tech. What was it? Tech
Professor, dude.
professor.
Professor
Yeah.
did.
Embrace failure. That's a good one. Embrace
Whenever I hear that, I think of I don't know why, but I go to Mark Cuban. I feel like Mark Cuban has always said that embrace
because the
failure.
Mighty Ducks, ¿no? Ándale. Vámonos. Continuous learning.
I don't know why my Ducks, but
Dude, they lost so many times, dude, and then they finally won, dude. Come on now.
oh,
No, but
They
like,
raised the failure.
what it has to do with Mark Cuban? That's what,
Oh, well, nothing.
right, yeah.
I wanted to say the Mighty Ducks before Mark Cuban.
Okay.
Continuous learning. Hey,
Dude, that is
Yeah.
something that
it's a good one.
there. It's just like I discovered they're very huge about that, and they want you to always continue learning something, right? And
That's
they're
good.
like, if you stop continuing learning, you're literally stopping your growth. That's how they see it.
One of
I
the
agree.
quotes that it obviously not my quote but that I share with the interns is if you're willing to learn, what is it? If you're willing to learn, no one can stop you. If or no, if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you're willing to learn, no one can stop you.
That's
I
a
think
good one.
that's the quote. But
Yeah,
but I
that
like
sounds right. Yeah,
sounds about right.
it makes sense. Okay. Build relationships, practice gratitude, time management. That's a good one.
That
It's
is a hard one, dude.
But look at this one.
Hard.
Step
It's
out of your
usually the
comfort
done, no?
zone. Step out of your comfort zone. Now that's
Oh,
just tough, dude.
bro. Look, so it's tough, but I agree 100%. I told my manager, hey, make sure that I don't stay in my comfort zone. Like every once in a while, throw me out there, and he took it very literally, and he's been throwing me out there. Like I got to meet the new CIO,
Okay.
and my manager was like, "Hey, this is Miguel. He's gonna work on the CMDB, whatever. Like if you got any questions, let him know." I was like, "Please don't ask me anything because I don't know anything." But no, it was
Okay.
interesting.
I got another really good one. Financial responsibility.
I'm trying to get better at that. Trying.
Okay. It says learn how to manage your finances wisely. Budgeting, saving, and making informed financial decisions are crucial for long-term stability.
Oh, I didn't tell you guys.
Mhm.
I
Good.
one of my
Super good.
financial stabilities and trying to diversify my portfolio. I bought parts of a soccer team in Scotland, dude.
Fucking
Lord Miguel, dude.
dude,
No,
I am
like like it's a soccer team. Like they're in the fifth division. They were selling their
Stocks.
shares and
What's the name, dude?
uh,
What's the name of the team, dude?
um
Get him on the pod, dude.
I think
Holy
it's like the
shit.
Braves.
Holy shit. Okay. I do have stocks. I do have stocks for the Green Bay Packers. FYI, guys. I don't want to sound cocky, but Hey,
So you saw your stock go down when your
fuck no.
quarterback left, huh?
Oh
No,
fuck no, no.
I
I
don't
got
know.
a
I
fucking.
saw it going down. No.
No, I told you that it is what it is. It was time. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep it going while Miguel finds it. Be kind and empathetic. That's something that Miguel said that his
Yeah,
manager is very big on.
very
Stay
empathetic. Yeah.
resilient. Life can present challenges, but your ability to bounce back and adapt is key. Develop resilience to navigate difficult times with grace. That's hard. Practice mindfulness. This is where I lack hella lack. Be present in the moment and cultivate mindfulness. This can help reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance your overall well-being. Give back. I wish I could, dude. Honestly wish I could give back to people. Uh,
I've tried. I've been doing that. I have tried giving back to family and like people that even I don't know.
okay,
Um Not mask at the same time. I feel like if you're gonna participate in that, I feel like it has to be something for me. I like to stay anonymous. I don't like people
I
knowing it
agree.
was me that did it.
I agree.
Uh it's just
Especially if it's
hard
family.
sometimes.
If it's family,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's hard sometimes because my mom will be the first person to be like, "Oh, fue me," and I'm like, "I told you, please don't say it was me," you know.
yeah. And then lastly, muchachos, I think maybe the biggest one out of all: believe in yourself.
That one I think is the hardest for me.
Okay. Right? It's the most important one out of all of them. All of them make sense. Honestly,
All
all of
of
them make
yeah,
sense.
all of these make sense. Yes, I
But
agree,
I think
100%.
number one is believe in yourself. Pero bueno, muchachos, el tanque está durmiendo. He went to take a nap. If you guys didn't see him, he took off his
Okay.
camera. We are here for one thing and one thing only, and now we're in 20 minutes in. Oh shit! Palabras de tank. Goddamn. Jesus Christ.
Hoy me levanté con unas ganas de trabajar, pero me voy a dormir un rato a ver si se me pasan.
Very good, dude.
Wait, real quick before we wrap up this episode, dude, ahorita que Tanque dijo que mejor se iba a dormir un ratito. We talked about reality TV last episode.
Sure did.
La final de Famosos, La Casa de los Famosos, dude.
Casa de Famosos México.
Please give us your quick take on that, Jenny boy.
Okay, so if you guys are not aware, I was really into it the last couple of weeks because my girl was really into it. We were able to switch our VPN to Mexico, so we were able to watch like all the cameras. Wendy was the winner of the Casa de Famosos Mexico. I gave a lot of shit to my girl, honestly, just so I could be like on the opposite side. But I'm glad she took it. Honestly, glad she took it. She was very well merecida, ganadora. But yeah, she took it, dude. Fuck, she got 4 million
pesos.
4 million 400 pesos. And I mean that's cool. I mean it's cool. I did feel a little bit that it was rigged, but hey, we'll leave that for some other time.
For another day,
yeah, another time. But nonetheless, yeah, she won. Caledonians Braves.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that again? Oh, your
that's
team.
That's the team. That's my team, dude. That's
the team that you own,
that's my
dude.
team. Dude.
Dude, you gotta step it up,
dude.
dude. I
Fifth division in Ireland.
I do own
50,
the
Scotland.
I do own the Green Bay Packers, dude. A little bit of it, it's based off of stocks. I have.
Why are you looking up there, dude?
Because I thought I had the.
Ahí los tiene, dude. Ahí se stocks.
I thought I had the certificate, but it's up there, dude. And the last time we went fishing, we went up to Wisconsin, Green Bay. I was looking for a plaque where I was gonna be able to put the certificate that it says that I own like certain stocks, but they're fucking hella expensive, so I'm just gonna have to buy something off market.
Es que el dinero ya te lo gastas in the stocks, ¿no?
Sí, dude. So, I think I put like $200 into it, and then they wanted like 175 for just the plaque itself. I was like, fuck no. Like, yeah, I already invested into you motherfuckers, yeah.
No, dude, I'm gonna make it the next Wrexham, dude.
Vamos, churches, pues that wraps up episode 91 of Todos Toman Podcast. Give me the prompt, dude. Because I know it, but I still like to read it.
By heart, dude.
Oh, wait. Rate, review, subscribe, dude. All links could be found at todostomanpodcast.com. Ve que les dije que me la sé, cabrones. I told you. The Instagram, TikTok, Facebook group. Cheers, muchachos.
Todos Toman Pod. Que no se te olvide.
Todos Toman Pod.
Va. Salud.
Cheers.